I were to choose a word that defines me, it would probably be nostalgia. It's more than just a mood. It's like a lens through which I see and experience the world. I'm an extremely nostalgic person, so much that I don't just stumble upon nostalgia by accident. I actively seek it out. I scroll through my gallery to look back at photos from years ago. I even spend hours finding the perfect nostalgic playlists on YouTube, the ones that instantly flood me with that weird, bittersweet comfort. And sometimes I go down rabbit holes of reading the relatable comments under these playlists. Comments like, I want to live in that feeling forever. Or, we didn't even know we'd be doing things for the last time. So yeah, nostalgia isn't just a fleeting feeling for me. It's something I crave. But there's another part of me that's just as defining. My love for music. It's a way for me to express myself, connect with others, and most importantly, experience nostalgia in its purest form. That's why today, I'm telling you straightforward. The thesis of this video is simple but meaningful. Nostalgia is a personal bridge to the past, with music as its most powerful catalyst. Let's start with nostalgia itself. The word nostalgia comes from Greece and combines two words with each having the meaning of homecoming and pain. This term was first coined in the late 1600s by a Swiss doctor, Johannes Hofer. Back then, it wasn't the warm, fuzzy feeling we know today. It was actually classified as a disease, a kind of homesickness that affected Swiss mercenaries who longed for their homeland, the Alps, while serving abroad. Since then, nostalgia has evolved from yearning for a place to yearning for time, somewhere we can't go. Today, nostalgia is defined as a wistful or excessively sentimental yearning for a return to, or of some past period or irrecoverable condition. But it's more than just wistful daydreaming. Science backs this up. Nostalgia often emerges from sensory triggers like sights, smells, and sounds. Looking at the streets while driving through a former neighborhood where you used to live, a whiff of a body lotion your mother used to apply on you, or the opening melodies of your favorite childhood show. All of these instantly transport us to another time. Neuroscientists reported that nostalgic experiences activate several regions of the brain, particularly the prefrontal cortex, limbic, paralimbic, and midbrain areas. Music, in particular, stands out as one of the most powerful triggers for nostalgia because it activates the brain's emotional and memory centers. There's even a research that says people who listen to music that evokes nostalgia experience greater activity in the inferior frontal gyrus, substantia nigra, cerebellum, and insula than they do when listening to music that does not induce nostalgia. This brings us to the role of memory. Our memories are the most sacred part of shaping who we are. They anchor our sense of identity, remind us where we came from, and shape how we see the world. Think about it. Without memory, there's no context for nostalgia. Psychologists suggest that nostalgia works as a coping mechanism, especially during challenging times. Take the pandemic, for example. Many people turn to nostalgic experiences like music or movie series to find comfort and a sense of stability amidst uncertainty. This is something I've personally experienced as well. As isolation dragged on, I found myself revisiting old moments to escape the unfamiliar present and immersing myself in the oddly satisfying ambience of nostalgia. However, nostalgia is also a double-edged sword. It can become consuming and trap us in the past if we fall too deeply into it. When we idealize the past to the point that it overshadows the present, it can prevent us from moving forward. That's why it's essential to treat nostalgia as a tool for reflection and comfort, not as a crutch. Among all sensory triggers that have the ability to evoke emotions and memories, music seems very unique and special to me. Neuroscience reveals that when we hear music tied to a significant moment, the brain's hippocampus and amygdala light up, connecting memory and emotion. What's fascinating is how universal yet personal music is. Everyone hears the same song, but its meaning is deeply individual. For me, Certain songs instantly transport me back to my childhood in Singapore or specific moments of joy and sadness. Back in Singapore, I remember singing Break Free by Ariana Grande and Titanium by David Guetta featuring Sia with my friends at school. I also remember catching up with the K-pop trend when I came back to Korea, being unfamiliar with the genre. Other valuable moments I have with music is while traveling abroad, where songs became the soundtrack to one of the precious episodes in my life. This profound connection between music and memory becomes even more evident in dementia therapy. Patients exposed to music which are tied to their core memories often recall vivid details of their past, sometimes with tears of recognition. It's a powerful example of how music transcends time, bridging memory and emotion even when other methods fail. The power of music lies not just in its melodies, but in how they intertwine with our personal narratives. Take a moment to think about a song that reminds you of simpler times. Among the songs you know, how many can you name that don't recall memories? Most of us would probably struggle to find even one. This profound connection is why music often becomes our most potent nostalgic trigger. It bridges the past and present in a way no other medium can. Memories are the most sacred part of who we are. They define us, shape us, and ground us in a world that's constantly changing. And music, in all its forms, is often the vessel that carries those memories, binding emotion and sound into something timeless. But this brings me to a question I've been thinking about. Can we really judge a music's greatness objectively? If music is something so deeply tied to individual experience, is it fair to measure its value by universal standards? Think about it. A summer pop anthem like Taylor Swift's Shake It Off or Red Velvet's Red Flavor might seem shallow to one person, but to someone else, it could represent an unforgettable chapter of their life. When we consider universally celebrated artists like Beyoncé, Kendrick Lamar, or the Beatles, it's easy to see why they're often hailed as the greatest. Their impact on music, culture, and society is undeniable. But are we only allowed to call artists like them the greatest? What about the songs that quietly shape our lives even if they lack the same global acclaim? To me, this is what makes music great. Not its technical complexity, cultural status, or accolades, but its ability to capture our personal, irreplaceable memories. Bong Joon-ho once said, "The most personal is the most creative." And I would argue in that music, the most personal is also the most meaningful. So next time we try to rank or evaluate music, let's take a moment to pause and think. Because what we're really doing is judging someone else's deeply personal treasures, and those are far too precious to compare. Many of us feel that if we could relive a memory dear to us, we would cherish it more. But the funny thing is, nostalgia requires separation. It needs distance in time, and the acceptance that what's gone is unretrievable. Without that, the spell doesn't work. Yet, that's exactly what makes nostalgia powerful. It doesn't just preserve the past, it shapes how we move forward. Our memories aren't just relics to admire, they're tools that help us grow. They teach us what we value, who we've become, and what we want to hold on to as we create new moments. Nostalgia reminds us that life is fleeting, but it's also full of meaning. It challenges us to treasure the present, live more consciously, and to appreciate the beauty of what's unfolding right now. Because someday, today will become one of those cherished memories too. Memories are real, even if they no longer exist. They happened, they disappeared, and they left something behind that stays with us.